Oh boy! A
Child!
cat!
Hello, and welcome to Cryptic Web Chronicles. Tonight, some shocking updates on the spiraling saga of Internet Lolcow, Patrick S. Tomlinson, and his battle against Internet trolls. As always, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's dive right in. Tonight on Cryptic Web Chronicles, we return once again to the strange and ongoing saga of Lolcow Patrick S. Tomlinson, a failed man who has spent years waging a war against internet trolls, one he claims has turned his life into a waking nightmare. As we've covered extensively on this channel, Patrick, who is a self-proclaimed tough guy, claims to live in a state of perpetual fear, even within the confines of his own dilapidated home. Over the years, he's repeatedly cried out to anyone who will listen, whether it's the media, his Twitter followers, or even the FBI, frantically alleging that he is the victim of relentless harassment, stalking, and even swatting, all orchestrated by his online tormentors from the infamous O and A forums. In Patrick's mind, he and his wife are under constant siege, facing an omnipresent threat that lurks around every corner, ready to strike at any moment. Of course, this is not the reality of the situation, and the FBI and Milwaukee police have apparently shown little, if any, interest in Patrick's case. Some speculate that he is exaggerating many aspects of his claims, painting himself as a perpetual victim to garner sympathy and attention online.
Swatting us, they've made death threats against us dozens and dozens of times. They've threatened to burn down our home. They've threatened to skin our pets alive. They've threatened to rape her, kill me, kill my mother-in-law. And so there's that part of us in the back of our heads too that's like, the police are finally getting it through their heads that these calls aren't real, and so they're not coming out, or they're just giving us a call, or they're leaving a card in the mailbox. But there's that part of that little voice in the back of your head. It's like, well, what if our stalkers are just trying to Chicken Little us to the point that they know the cops aren't going to come when we need them?
Yeah.
And so, are they setting us up so that for a home invasion? We don't know. We don't know how far they'll go. I mean, as we said, they've already vandalized our property multiple times. They've already trespassed on our property multiple times. They've made it known that our home isn't safe.
However, despite painting a picture of his home as some sort of danger zone straight out of a thriller novel, Patrick has no problem renting out half of it to strangers through Airbnb. Yes, you heard that right. While publicly crying out that his house is under constant threat from stalkers and swatting, Patrick has been quietly inviting random guests to stay in his supposedly terrorized residence. For a price, of course. A quick look at his Airbnb page reveals a steady stream of glowing reviews from guests, none of whom seem to have experienced the supposed swattings, stalking, or 24/7 fear that Patrick claims defines his daily existence. No mentions of police raids, no complaints about masked intruders or harassment. Just standard Airbnb reviews where people praise the cozy, albeit drafty, accommodations, as well as the convenient location. So, this begs the obvious question. If Patrick's home is truly ground zero for a targeted harassment campaign, why would he willingly expose paying guests to such a hazardous environment? Is he knowingly putting others at risk? Or, dare we say, is Patrick exaggerating his victimhood for attention and sympathy while still cashing in on the side? As we covered in our last video, one particularly infamous internet troll by the name of Robert Porngay, better known online as Boomia, has taken the tensions between Patrick and the trolls to a whole new level with a series of increasingly bold actions. Boomia made a trip to Milwaukee, where he visited Patrick's neighborhood, dined at a local pub, and even took close-up photos of Patrick's house. Additionally, Bumia has made it clear that he plans to attend Confusion, an upcoming science fiction convention where Patrick will also be present. With tensions escalating and the history of their online interactions, many are anticipating a potential confrontation between the two. Well, it has just been revealed on Twitter that Bumia has gone even further than anyone anticipated. If we are to believe Patrick's repeated claims about living in constant fear, it seems his so-called sanctuary has just been brutally violated right under his nose. Bumia, one of Patrick's most infamous and relentless trolls, a man Patrick has ranted about and relentlessly targeted online, has now revealed that during his trip to Milwaukee, he stayed the night at Patrick's very own Airbnb. That's right, one of Patrick's worst and most dedicated tormentors stepped foot under his roof as a guest without him even knowing it. At Bumia's Justice on January 21st, 2025, would tweet, "Hey Pat, I wanted to wait until Donald J. Trump was in office to share this with you. Not only did I visit Milwaukee earlier this month, I breached the hovel via Airbnb and was not neutralized. Left you an Easter egg under the DVD player in the living room. A Moochie pic, go look. Gaming table pic too." Attached was a picture of the Easter egg photo, as well as a picture showing an easily recognized piece of furniture that has been spotted in Patrick's house previously. At Stealthy Geek, change the burnt-out bulbs too. The fucking place is way too dimly lit, and you were unable to neutralize me in your own house, so I doubt I'll even be spotted at the con. Just remember, I may be right next to you at the bar or the restaurant. You can't know you're safe. You're a famous Lolcow who is a legitimate protest target. The hovel had a lot of cracked spackle, and the floors could use a lot of work, but the price is fair. See you at the con. My buddy who was the guy who rented and had me over will rent again, left you a review. As you can see from these tweets, Patrick's worst nightmare is unfolding, and it's hard to feel any sympathy for him. His so-called terror and victimhood have clearly been taken to a whole new level of humiliation. The trolls he's raged about for years have not only stayed in his Airbnb, but are now openly mocking him by sharing pictures of his house. While Patrick continues to spin his tale of fear, it's tough to buy into his narrative when he's allowed these same individuals to get so close without even realizing it. His online ranting and empty threats seem more pathetic by the day as the trolls have made his home their playground, mocking him every step of the way. And of course, the trolls would have a field day as a result. At Moochie took a dump. Ha ha ha. Who would have thought when you picked a fight with the pests that 6.5 years later you'd be cleaning up after one of them after they took a dump in your house? Oh, Pat, you will never stop making us laugh. Scrub, 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 little pig maid. This troll does raise a fair point. Despite Patrick's years-long crusade against his so-called internet stalkers, he's been on the losing end at every turn. So much so that he's now reduced to scrubbing their skid marks out of his own toilets. For all his bluster about taking down trolls and bringing them to justice, the reality is far more humiliating. Instead of the fearless warrior he portrays himself to be, Patrick has unwittingly become the butt of the joke, cleaning up after the very people he claims to be living in fear of. Bumia would later continue, writing about the experience. Completely legally in shit, right in his toilet, and he scrubbed out my skid marks and piss drips LOL. I was very considerate to not make a mess and treated the place as if it were my own. I would have rated it a 3.5 out of 5, but for value I'd say 4 out of 5. Rick not bad at all. Patrick has yet to address this shocking revelation on Twitter, leading many to suspect he is busy scouring security camera footage and filing police reports about the incident in retaliation. Only time will tell how Patrick will handle this incident, though I'm sure it will be good. That's all for tonight's video, but stay tuned, because the saga isn't over yet. It's just been revealed on the forums that yet another troll has already stayed at Patrick's Airbnb, capturing video and photos to prove it. We'll be covering it all as soon as the footage drops, so make sure to subscribe and stay updated. However, that's all we have for tonight. Thanks for watching. This has been Cryptic Web Chronicles. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and good night.